Hi and welcome to this Blueberry Markets video update with me, John Kibler, head currency analyst. In this video we're going to be taking a look at multiple different pairs. We're going to start off with the US dollar, talk about the dollar and talk about the current kind of market sentiment that we're seeing in the market. And dollar index, so if you looked at our market outlook, we expected a break below this weekly low and a potential for price to move back down into this daily inverse head and shoulder neckline. Reason being is price failed to close above this high. We spoke about the dollar index pushing higher and for the need for it to close above, because that close above gives us a sentiment in the market, gives us an idea that buyers are sustaining above these levels. However, as the market pushed through, we just rolled over the next couple of days, and you can see on the daily time frame we closed back within those previous monthly highs. Now, what we can see after that is price is just starting to become very bearish today, rolling over, heading towards this neckline support. So we may get a little bit of a bounce off this neckline before any kind of continuation to the downside, okay? The key sort of downside moment would be if it takes out these lows down in here. If it takes those lows out, then we can definitely say that the market has changed sentiment in terms of we're seeing the bears step in now on the US dollar. Now, we have to wait and see what happens here. A nice bearish close towards the end of the week would be brilliant. See how the retracements are handled here. If we start seeing some decent bullish candles, then we may expect the trend to continue here and push a little bit higher. However, it's looking very, very bearish here for the US dollar at the minute. All right. Now, just going to take a look at a couple of different pairs. We're going to talk about the sentiment in the market and the fact that we're in what we like to call a risk-off market. So if you looked at the market outlook, we talked about that the risk-off market will likely continue this week. So we're going to see declines in the stock markets. We're going to see our safe havens being bought up quite nicely. The reason being was pretty much because President Donald Trump, over the weekend or just before the end of Friday's session, said that they were going to increase the tariffs placed on China. Okay, so they're going to increase those tariffs. That shot the market into a risk-off sentiment. And if we go take a look at the likes of the S&P 500, we can see that the market is very, very bearish here. We outline the fact that we have a really nice weekly trend line support where the market could retest in and around these highs and that in this level, in the supporting area. And that's what's happening at the moment. Already this week, we've already seen a decent decline in the S&P 500, showing us that risk-off sentiment is definitely in here. Now, it does beg the question that we are at that support. We could start seeing a small bounce from this area. Before maybe any kind of continuation, we may see a continued drop back into these sorts of areas in here. If we do get a break of this trend line support with a nice close below, then it does suggest that we are going to get further downside and for that risk off sentiment to continue in the market, which means we should be looking to buy our safe havens. So just going from our trade of the day last night, we talked about selling dollar Swiss. That's moved pretty nicely. Didn't actually hit our order, but if you did get on the sell on there anyway, then you would be nicely in profit heading towards these lows. If we do take out those, then we expect that downtrend to continue at that point with that risk on sentiment in the market. Risk off, sorry. Dollar yen, also expecting further declines here. Targets for me are going to be down at this key swing low in here, where the market bounced from significantly before in the past. This trend is continuing, those lower highs, lower lows. We discussed the fact that the market was in this daily trading range and suggested that we could see some downside. I didn't expect it so quickly, but the market has now broken through this level. So I'm looking for any kind of continuation moves now. So it's been John Kibler, head currency analyst at Blueberry Markets. Hope you've enjoyed this video update, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. Speak to you soon.